Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Limitless Show. I'm your host, Mr. Producer, and as always, I'm joined with the Limitless crew. How are we all doing, guys?
Mate, crispy.
Good.
We're
good.
Fantastic. And you may heard another speaker there, and guess what, guys? It's actually Jake.
Yeah.
AKA
Round
Mac
two.
Miller.
Yes,
Round
sir.
two.
Part
We're
part
back in
two.
the house.
He's back.
So
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He came for another round.
The people have spoken,
Mate.
and we've got some feedback around a little bit of your story, Jake. Some of our listeners, the female listeners to be more specifically, they actually want to know a little bit more about what's it like to raise a daughter on your own as a single father. And you're in your 20s, right?
Yeah, early 20s.
Early 20s.
Yeah.
So I think you've got a very interesting perspective. And if you don't mind just sort of sharing some of your parenthood principles, I think we can start there and we'll let the
Ooh.
boys
Yeah.
go back and
Parenthood
forth.
principles. Yes, sir.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where would you like to start?
Be a good daddy.
Wherever you like, my man.
Yeah, take it. Take
As
it from
in
the
what
top.
it's like raising a daughter.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think as a man, it's wholesome. It's
Mm.
very, I don't know. As a man, I think personally, me, from everything I've been through, I think I was blessed to get a daughter. I think it's what I needed.
Right.
I think it's definitely what I needed because, in a way, soulmates, relationships, stuff like that. You always think your soulmate is your partner.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Mm.
Wrong.
Ooh.
A soulmate can be a friend. It can be a family
Ooh.
member.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I
We're
think
getting real now.
I think my soulmate genuinely is my daughter.
Okay.
Genuinely, like it's an emotional roller coaster with that kid.
Mm.
Like it's strange. She can do the simplest thing and just brings tears to my eyes. Can do it
Yeah.
all the time. Like simply just going for a nap.
Mm.
Crazy. Just
Yeah.
going for a nap. I love when we go for naps.
Them naps hit different, huh?
No, bro. Nap time is a great time. But
Yeah.
even her just sitting there, just like slowly falling asleep. It's crazy. Like I'll just look at her and I like kid you not, like my eyes start getting watery. I start crying. I'll stop what I'm doing. If I'm like sitting on my phone and she's falling asleep, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll just stare at her. I'll just like look at her, just her beautiful little face. It's just adorable.
Mm.
But raising a female in this generation, I think is gonna be hard. She's very young
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
right
okay.
now. Obviously, she's only 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
Soon she'll be 20.
yeah, bro, within a blink of an eye.
Exactly.
It feels like I only had her 5 minutes ago.
100%.
Yeah, like it's crazy. It feels like I only had her 6 months ago, but all of a sudden she's 2 and a bit now, so it's crazy. But yeah, I had her when I was 20.
Yeah.
So I
Wow.
just turned
Okay.
23, so I had her just before I was 21.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That was a couple months ago.
That's all right. Happy birthday, bro.
The Limitless crew say, hey.
But yeah, it was crazy having a kid at the age of 20.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't think I would be having a kid.
Yeah.
I was blessed to have a kid with the person I did. I'll definitely say that. You know, sometimes when you get out of a relationship, co-parenting isn't easy.
Yeah.
Very hard. Very, very hard. Like a lot of females, single females that I know, most dads have nothing to do with the kid. Most dads, like I have a friend and I think the dad sees the kid maybe once every 3 weekends.
Once every 3 weekends.
Doesn't even want the kid to stay over for the night because he can't handle it.
Wow.
Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So as a single dad and having social media, Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that, I get a lot of attraction or attention from females. But I've noticed it's attention that I'm not necessarily feeling. Like at the start, it was like, I'll post a story about her and, a female will be like, oh my God, like, look at you, like taking her out for lunch, taking her out to play, that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, like thanks, like I try my best, blah, blah, blah. And now it's to the point where like someone will respond to something I've posted. And in a way, I'm like I like it, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting to the point where it's a little frustrating to hear because it makes
Should be normalized.
like it's simple things like like it should be just simple shit.
You love your
Like,
daughter.
yeah,
You
like
wanna spend time with
it's
her.
your kid. It's not it's not someone you're babysitting every now and again. It's your kid.
Yeah.
It should be, you know, like taking them out for lunch, making memories with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a single dad, you get a bit of praise for it. But I just don't think, in a way, I should. Because I'm not doing anything
Different.
above and beyond.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What a woman would do in your
Yeah, like
position.
I'm not doing anything that her mum's not doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like her mum's doing those things, taking her out, making memories with her, you know, stuff like that. But I think in this generation, as a dad, you don't see it too much.
Yeah,
so it's good for females to see it. Kind of gives them hope.
That's
which
right.
is what I get told a little bit. They're like, you know, like it gives us hope. Like,
there's
a
good
dad
men
out there. There's a
There's
dad
great men
out
out
there
there.
that is obsessed with their child.
Yeah.
Which I am.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's crazy, and it's hard to raise a female in this generation. I think it's going to be a very big test.
What do you think are the challenges?
I was going to say,
your
what
daughter?
are you afraid of?
That's right.
What am I afraid of?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm afraid of anything in particular. I
Good.
think I'm afraid of just I would like to have the same relationship we have now throughout her whole life. I don't want anything to come in between us.
Got it.
Interesting.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, something might happen, you know, but hopefully it just stays the way it is. Hopefully it gets better. She's definitely a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, she's pretty cool, but hopefully we have a good relationship throughout our whole life, or her whole life at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, anything else you guys would like to ask? Anything specific?
You know what, man? There's a lot. There's a lot you want. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna take it back to like one of these like little angles that we actually had like feedback about.
Okay.
Around, you know, like our generation, right?
Yep.
Some of us may have parents who are like, "Nah, you have to do this. You got to go this direction." Others were kind of like, "Yeah, whatever. Do whatever you want to do, as long as you're alive."
Yeah.
Right. So, like, from like a dad's perspective, watching your daughter grow up, talk us through like, you know, like what sort of like ambitions you have for her, or like what you see for her, like let's say like 10 years from now, 12 years from now, 20 years from now.
Personality wise, she has a very big personality like me, so I think she's going to be able to achieve anything she wants.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah, like I think she's going to be able to achieve anything she wants, but honestly, as long as she's happy.
Okay. I feel
As long as
that.
she's
Yeah, I feel
happy,
that.
you know, like we all personally as well, like no one knows what they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, you might find out what you want to do when you might hit 40. And you might be like,
that's right.
this is what I want to do.
True.
I want to do this career. I want to go into this, you know, that kind of thing. But as long as she's happy and she feels, you know, comfortable to talk to her dad, stuff like that, ask for advice or help. Because like I didn't have a dad like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know, most dads aren't.
You want to be
really
the father
around.
figure she deserves.
Exactly. I want to be everything. Like it sounds a little bad, but I want to be everything my dad wasn't.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
I
You know
feel
what
that.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are all your parents in the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both what are you? Yeah, for
Yeah,
me they are.
Yours too?
Not mine.
Not yours?
Not mine, so I can relate with you.
Yeah, so you can relate, right? So like missing mum or missing dad?
Dad.
Dad. So it's something you want to do, right? Do you have kids?
Mm-mm.
No. I'm telling you, if you have a kid, it brings out this weird side of you. Like as soon as you see that pregnancy test, most people are like, holy crap, I'm having a kid, I'm out. You know what I mean? They're like,
I'm
I'm
not
out.
ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll ever really be ready.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever really ready because kids are a surprise.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
how did it change you?
Mm.
Like, talk us through like the moment like you found out you're gonna have a kid, and then she was actually here, and then like she turns 1, and then she turns 2. Like, how did those moments change you?
When I found out, is there things I'm not allowed to say?
Nah, hey, we just
be
in
real,
general, man. Be real. No names for the sake of respect. Otherwise, man.
No names, but like if I say like a certain thing, you guys can decide to edit it out. It's up to you.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, no.
At the time when I found out I was having a kid,
Mhm.
I was, like I said, I used to have a addiction with drugs and
Yeah.
alcohol. The second I found out I was having a kid, when I looked at that pregnancy test, I shit you not, the next day I cut off all contact with everybody.
Yeah.
Anyone that, you know, wanted drugs, anything like that, I was like, I either blocked them, didn't respond to them, sent them to someone else. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want that life. I'm not a part of it.
Yeah.
And a switch kind of flicks in your brain. Like immediately I was like, I need to do a real job.
Yeah. You
I
need
need,
to clean
I need to
yourself
do
up.
something legit.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
show my child that her dad can be like a hardworking person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, and then, you know, when she came, oh man, I bawled my eyes out.
Yeah,
crazy.
bro.
A father's love.
Father's
Crazy.
love
A
is
father's
pure.
love.
But the thing is, I kept saying to everyone, I was like, I'm not going to cry.
Mm.
Why am I going to cry? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
why
it's
would I
yours.
cry? It's just my child. And then the child, as soon as the baby came out, I couldn't even breathe, man. Like,
Wow.
I was like red and purple. I was like looking away, making sure the nurses couldn't see me. I was like, nah. I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
I was cutting onions a minute ago.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
was
That's
like,
all.
but yeah, I was
Seamless.
involved. I was involved with the pregnancy as well. I was there the whole time,
Yeah.
helping.
Yeah.
You know,
Nah,
like
respect.
watching stuff like that.
Was it
Yeah.
cesarean or was it normal?
She wanted the cesarean. You know, the needle in the back.
Yeah,
kinda
she wants
help.
epidural and then
Epidural, yeah, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
She we asked for it because she was in a lot of pain, and
Yeah.
then the nurse came back and goes, the baby was basically starting to come out,
Yeah,
and she goes, well, the only doctor that can do it is busy right now, so it'll be here in an hour. And then my partner at the time was like, we're doing it naturally.
yeah.
Which-
Switch it up.
It was
She
crazy.
gonna push.
I was definitely scared as a man to see how much pain they go
she was
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this fear in my head that because the pain was so strong that she might have, during labor, a lot of mums pass away. Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I was scared. I was scared that was going to happen. There was a fair few times where she was like, "It's too much," and I was like,
Yeah.
inside, I was like,
Yeah.
like this is
Yeah.
Give me
gonna
some
be-
of that pain. Let me feel
Yeah,
some of that
yeah,
pain. Let me
like-
take some of that weight.
It was
Yeah.
hard to watch,
Yeah.
but it was a beautiful thing. It was
Yeah.
definitely beautiful. And then, you know, hitting the 1 year mark was crazy. It was a bit wild knowing that you have a child. Like sometimes now I even look at her and I'm like, is this my child? It's definitely my child.
Do we need to call Jerry Springer?
We got Jerry Springer on the show.
Get him on the show.
But,
Jake, you are the father.
It definitely is my baby, but it's weird knowing that you created
Right.
a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So,
kind of like
like-
she's actually really here.
Like
she's here.
the other day, I was sitting on the couch and
Yeah.
I think we were having breakfast, and she was jumping next to me. And I looked at her and I was like, who? Like in your head, you're like, whose kid is this? It's trippy. Like, you
Man, I'm finna have me a baby now, bro. I'm finna have me a kid.
it's
Little Junior
weird.
Decker's walking around.
Yeah, it's
Top D's
just-
just coming around here. all
It's
like
strange,
shooting.
man. Like you
Love
look at
it.
it and you're like, you look at your child and you're like, holy crap! Like that's
Yeah.
That's my
baby.
kid.
Like it doesn't feel real. It feels like a dream.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we don't need Jerry Springer on here. I know it's my baby,
Mm.
but
He's
yeah.
already done the test.
But she looks like me.
I ain't need no test. She looks like him already.
She
It's
looks-
alright.
she looks like both of us.
She's
but
beautiful.
thank God. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels like a dream. Like sometimes you stare at your kid and you're like, holy crap! Like, is this real?
Yeah.
It's trippy.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful experience
Yeah.
as a male.
Yeah.
It's honestly, I think for people like me who have suffered with mental health and drug addiction and alcohol and stuff like that, I think genuinely for me, having a daughter in a way is probably the one thing that saved me.
Yeah. Well.
Because I think if I didn't have a kid, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah.
I'd
really
probably
solidified your purpose.
Be in jail or dead.
Yeah.
Most likely, like unfortunately, dead. But
Yeah.
she brings out a lot of love and different sides of me that I haven't noticed before.
Man, this is deep, bro. Deep.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Talk that talk, man.
Yeah, like
talk
having
that
a
talk.
kid just brings out a side of you that's like you just don't understand until you have a kid. It's hard to explain.
The real father
Bruh,
element.
It's
I'm
hard-
living through you right now,
Yeah,
man.
it's hard to
Feel free.
explain because
Yeah.
you have to experience it yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're the
Yeah.
protector. And
Yeah, like very protective.
Yeah.
Like as a man, like of course she brings out a soft side of me.
Yeah.
Like she brings out a soft side where I'm like, oh, like let's go do this. Like we paint canvases together, we go out, make cute little dates, stuff like that. But then she brings
Yeah.
out to us a side of me where it's like, like more of like a protective kind of way where it's like I'll
Yeah.
kill anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I will be able to stand by myself against like an army of men, and I know I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
Like that kind of it brings out that kind of love of you. Like
Right.
The
Yeah.
truth, the
I
power
will,
within.
yeah,
the will.
like
Yeah.
me against like 3,000 men. That man, they ain't got shit on me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that.
I'm not stopping until literally I take my last breath.
Yeah.
But
Gladiator things. Bro.
That's right.
yeah, it's having a kid, man, just brings out
Yeah.
sides of you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all parts of sides.
The
of you.
primal beast just comes out to play.
Yeah, and I think me and my daughter created more of a bond when me and her mum split. When me and her mum split,
Interesting.
yeah, because like babies are attached to the mother for a very long time, and for the first 6 months or so, or maybe like 8 months, it's hard for the dad to get a connection with the baby because the baby's like breastfeeding, the baby's attached to the
Makes
mum the
sense.
whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
You're
that's
at
right.
work, you're doing stuff, but genuinely, once we split, it sounds a bit crappy, but the relationship that it created between me and my daughter was just amazing, and it gets better every day.
Yeah.
It's better every day. And
Because
like,
you're so involved.
Yeah. It's just beautiful.
yeah, man.
Simba, what you
And
saying?
so, yeah, I was gonna ask, what does it do for your priorities? Because, like, I know, like, as a dude, let's say, like, when you're a single dude,
Yeah.
priorities are like a dime a dozen. You're like, oh, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
Right? You get in a relationship, they switch a little bit, right? But having the kids, I ain't never been there. I hope not. I know I'm not. I ain't got no
Having a
babies
kid
yet,
as a
but
single dad, I think it's hard. Like it would be easy for me to, like, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be easy for me to just pull up my phone and be like, yeah, you will do. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I can date anyone. It doesn't matter. I think once you come out of a relationship with your first proper love, I think it's a bit harder.
Yeah.
I've been, like I said, trying to find yourself in the first episode we talked a little bit about. I think I don't even have intentions of finding someone right now.
Right.
Like, don't
Because
get
your
me wrong.
love is in your daughter.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
your
Like,
daughter.
bro, I would love to just have a cute little family. I want a wife for sure, but I need to find the right person.
Yeah.
Of
Your
course.
standards are higher too.
My standards are so high.
I knew it.
Especially because there's a daughter in the mix, too.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's hard because some of these females that I've had little bits of conversations with here and there, they're like, oh, like, let's go do something. And they kind of tell you in the moment. And it's like, nah, I can't, sorry. And then they're like, why? And it's like, well, I'm either at work, which I work nights, or I'm with my child. And then it's like, oh, what about the weekends? It's like, well, that's when I have her full time.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I spend majority of my time with her is, from Thursday to Sunday, Friday to Sunday. I want to spend my time with my child.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend it, I don't want to miss a day that is my day to be with her. For me, it's just work or child, work, child, work, child, work, child. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to find free time to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
I have a set routine.
Yeah.
But dating,
Disciplined.
yeah, like dating, I just don't think is in my mindset right now. I'm more trying to mentally, physically, spiritually evolve. I don't want to be, stuck back trying to get into a relationship.
Yeah, it's very interesting you say that because a lot of the single moms that I've come across in the dating scene are in the same mindset as what you say, where they will be like, I'm open to something long term, but they're just not sure figuring it out because of this exact reason, because they themselves know they're more committed to their child and their family.
100%.
They've already been abandoned by the father figure that's involved. In
unfortunately.
most instances, even the one where they're co-parenting involved, they have to consider that dynamic. You know what I mean? Like, how many days is he having her or him, and how many days do they have it? And where do you fit in logistically in this with your own?
Like, I know it's not easy for the mother of my child because she is, she has my daughter throughout the weekdays, and then she has a partner as well. So in a way, I think it's. I seen the eye roll there. I think in a way,
the stories I've heard, man.
I think in a way it's hard for her too. Like, she can't make a lot of free time, and she'll simply just text me and be like, "Hey, I want to go, go do this. Can you watch her?" And it's hard. Dating as a single parent, I think, is hard, and I don't want to just bring anyone around my child. I don't no female has met my child, and I've been single for a year or so now. No one's met my child.
You don't want them to imprint. That's what it is as well.
I just don't want my daughter to have the idea of daddy's going to bring around whoever he wants.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Bro, I feel that.
Unfortunately, a lot of females, when they get out of relationships, they don't take the time to heal necessarily. It turns into, I'm going to go party.
A revolving door.
Yeah, like, not to speak bad on any single mums or anything, but sometimes they bring people around their kids and it doesn't necessarily last or work out. Yeah. And that's something I didn't want for my kid. I don't want her to be like, you know, she's going to meet this girl one week and then like in another week it's going to be another one. You know what I mean?
Stay on that topic for a second because there's a book by a guy called David Brooks.
Yeah.
The Social Animal, right?
Yeah.
He talks about how like kids grow up like watching stuff.
Yeah. Their minds are like sponges.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
So daughter or son grows up seeing mom or dad bringing around like all these dudes or girls or whatever.
Yeah.
Then the daughter grows up thinking it's normal.
Oh,
yeah.
And then the daughter ends up, you know, like she has this dude that's like fleeting. It's like, oh, that's normal because like my dad did that. So like that's totally fine. You know what I mean? But then they end up traumatized.
100%.
Because through the process, they end up hurt. And they can't figure it out, but for them, it's normal. They talk to somebody else and like, what? That's not normal.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I
daddy
totally respect
issues.
that.
Daddy issues. This is when it begins.
Yeah, man.
This is the root of daddy issues.
Same with dating as well, right? Like the amount of girls that you shouldn't bring around your parents if you're just like investigating, it should be like a minimum. Until you're like, all right, this is like the one that I'm like, you know what? She's probably gonna survive the distance. Then, I mean, for me personally, then she's gonna meet the parents. You know what I mean?
Like I've said to the mother of my child, I said to her when we got out of our relationship, I was like, I want you to know that no one's going to be coming around our child unless I think it's serious. And I set myself a rule. I said, I'm not going to bring anyone around my child unless I've been seeing that person seriously for 8 months to a year.
Yeah, good on you,
that's going to be hard for them.
Yeah, that's right. So many logistics.
Yeah, like as a single dad, like I don't have a lot of free time. So 8 months is a while. Like in that 8 months, I might see you once a week.
Right.
Once every week. So that's not a lot. So
she gotta really love you, man.
Exactly. And it's
that's
hard
what it's about.
because there's been like, you know, I've had a couple conversations here and there, and then they end up getting the shits. They're like, you don't have enough time to talk to me.
Yeah.
And ever since I started to find myself, I got less involved with this. Like, this just doesn't exist to me anymore. My screen time on my phone is between an hour to 2 hours a day.
Welcome to
and
my
that's
world.
hard in our generation. Everyone's on their phones.
Because everything. I mean, we're recording this podcast on our phones.
There's 4 different phones in front of me. And
we run $1 million businesses through the phone.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to spend my time on this. I want to spend it face to face. Face to face is so much better. You know what I mean? Like with females, with friends as well.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like we don't talk 24/7, but when we're in the gym, we've got so much to say. And I think the reason is because we don't see each other enough and we don't communicate enough. Because when you communicate with someone over the phone, it's like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. How's your day? And then the conversation dies.
100%. I just had my first cup of coffee. Yeah, how's your tea this morning?
And then like, even
I totally agree with you.
How's your protein shake?
I know. Yeah, literally, it's like,
are you ready for a good day? I hope it's a good day.
Did you iron your undies?
And then 5 minutes later,
did you enjoy your lunch break?
It's like, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, I'm at work. 5 minutes later, what are you doing? It's like, you're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why I hate texting. I cannot stand it.
I just
it's superficial.
Like the reason I have this is because it's a thing these days.
That's right.
Using it, it just doesn't exist to me. It just doesn't fascinate me as much as it used to. I used to be obsessed with it. My screen time used to be 14 to 16 hours a day. I was obsessed, man. I was obsessed with this thing constantly.
Of course.
Cutting it back, it was hard, but it was also at the same time so easy. I was just like, I'm good. But I think it should be like that with friends and relationships, especially relationships. Like new relationships when you guys don't live together. It's easy for you guys to be sitting on the phone 24/7, having those boring, dry conversations. But I think when you conversate less and you set boundaries between each other, when you do hang out with each other, you value each other's time more. Right?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I see it as like if I don't see you 24/7 throughout the day, when I finally do get to see you, I feel like that was something personal.
No, we ain't gonna go into that. We'll tell you afterwards.
But
I'll tell you afterwards.
so I was like, oh, crap.
Look.
No, we're gonna tell you
I will
afterwards.
tell you
Man.
something though.
Yeah.
I hate the same thing on dates.
Yeah.
If that girl is looking at her phone and she ain't making eye contact with me, I'm just like, you're slipping.
Do you know what's
I'm
do you know
dipping.
what, do you know what annoys me
Yeah.
these days in dating?
What's
Is if I put my phone face down, I'm cheating. Apparently, I'm cheating.
You can never win as a dude, man.
You can never win.
You know why?
Apparently-
Because
apparently it's
notifications. They think you're hiding the notifications.
But the funny-
But here's the
That's
thing,
what
though.
it is.
Remember in primary school, someone goes, "Oh, who farted?" If you smelt it, you dealt it.
Yeah.
So if you're so quick to point it out, it's like, "Oh, you're probably she's doing something
That's
shady."
right.
Like, let's
Because,
just call it a buck.
in talking stages these days, it's very normal for like a female to be talking to like multiple different dudes, or a guy
Yeah.
to be talking to multiple different females.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you're talking to someone, I feel like it should be that set person.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if I'm talking to you, I'm talking to just you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I hear
I
you.
don't want to be interested in other people because I've got to remember stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what if I accidentally say something to you that I say to you? Like,
Yeah,
what's the
I hear
point?
you.
Chloe,
in doing
what
that?
did you do with those red
Yeah,
shoes? I don't
yeah.
have red shoes.
She's like, red shoes. I don't even like.
What's
the
your favorite
color.
color? Sorry.
Oh, you're purple color girl.
Like,
Okay,
well,
cool.
You like Italian, right? Or do you like Mexican? I can't remember right now.
I'm allergic to Mexican. Oops.
Like, what's the point in doing that? I
Do you
feel
like mushrooms? Wait, what? You're allergic?
I feel you. And I heard something a while ago, where someone said, because I observed this myself.
Yeah.
Right? You go out and about, two people on a date having dinner
Yeah.
on their phones like this.
Yeah.
I remember watching,
I see
I
it a lot.
think it might have been a
It's the worst.
YouTube short or like a TikTok, something like that.
Yeah.
It says they pull out their phone and you guys are supposed to be spending time together.
Mhm.
What they're indirectly telling you is whatever is on their screen is more important than who's in front of
Oh,
them.
100%.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I always watch for that.
I mean, what their best friend just posted on Instagram is apparently more important than our date. Getting
Yeah.
to know each other.
Bro, that's
you know what I mean?
That's so
Yeah.
true.
That's why I just
You know
sit
what
there,
I mean?
stroke my
Yeah.
beard, and I'm like, all right, let me
It's-
think about tomorrow. What am I having
it's
for
funny
dinner?
'cause, like,
Yeah, man.
like you go on a date and like I genuinely haven't been on like any really. I think I've maybe been on one or two.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't classify it as a date, but apparently it was. You know, that kind of thing. You think it's just like there's a difference
It's
between
catch up. It's just getting, just
in
having
my
coffee.
opinion, there's a difference between two people wanting to hang out to get to know each other, and then there's a difference between a date and wanting to get to know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts.
And I feel like either way, when you're with said person, it just doesn't feel right when they sit on their phone.
Yeah.
But then they're the same person to be like, oh, I don't go on my phone like when I'm on a date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll sit there and be like, oh, like, I don't know. I feel like they just tell you what you want to hear
Right.
Yeah.
based
right.
off of what they know about you.
That's why they ask your boundaries early.
Yes.
Whenever I be on a date, girls will be like, so what do you look for in a girl? What are this and that? And they're basically writing the formula they need
Manipulation.
to manipulate me to get into my world. So often I'll just be like, oh, there's things about me that I hope you figure out. And I will swerve
That's
it.
smooth.
Mysterious.
I will swerve it.
My man's the
because
risk god himself, bro.
I'm just saying, I will never show my empire
Yeah.
without. I'm just saying. Sorry to ladies all there, but if you've been played, you've been played. the point is
Damn.
this. The point is this: you will never
Damn.
get the keys to my empire unless I open the door to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had someone say, this is straight out. I had someone say that I prioritize this and this and this. And I talk about prioritization, but I don't really like reflect on it. Like I don't live it in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
And I laughed about this so much because the only reason you don't feel prioritized in that way is because you're still earning that level of trust and ownership from my heart for me to prioritize you. Okay, sorry to land the blow, but it's the truth. Because if you really qualified into my inner circle, you're prioritized. Ask my boys, ask and my mom, my sister, anyone who loves me, even my boys, they'll tell you. Does Steve care about you? 100%. Does he make time for you? 100%. Will you pick up the phone? 100%.
You went out of the way to text me the other day.
100%.
I told him mentally, over a couple of weeks, I was like feeling a little down in the dumps, which has been strange for me lately.
Yeah.
And this man shot me a message. Hey, bro, just checking in, seeing how you're doing.
100%.
Just want to see
Yeah.
how you're going.
Yeah.
That's caring. You don't get a lot of that these
Yes,
days.
sir, the audience is clapping.
You don't
Yes,
get a lot of that
sir.
these
We
days.
live
Yes,
it, we
sir.
preach it. We live it, we preach it.
It's good. And then,
Pastor Steve on the mic.
but yeah,
but that's what I mean, right? I just think that people got to understand, if someone isn't prioritizing you, it's because they're not prioritizing you.
So
period.
So what are your priorities then? My priorities.
Flipping the script, man.
Because I got a follow-up question to his answer.
Let's go.
My priorities will always be whatever is the center of my happiness. That's my circle. This is how I assess happiness.
So what's your happiness right now?
So it'll be the boxing, my family, my friends, my career, and even like just being around the people I'm passionate about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That is my crew.
Yeah.
All of these things that add to my happiness, they're my priorities.
And all those things you listed, they're like your top priorities and passions.
100%. They add
so
to
now, it. How would you feel if you had a child and a daughter?
You know what?
What do you think? How do you think those priorities will go later on in life once you have a kid?
You know what would be?
Damn.
I actually thought about it. I'm gonna be straight up with you, brother. I'm about to be straight up, man. Okay, so most people, they want one child or two child.
Yeah.
This is me being really personal.
Yep.
I actually wanted 5 kids. Okay.
That's very common
a tribe.
these days.
All right.
A big family.
The reason,
little tribe.
Yeah, exactly, little tribe. Maybe this is my military mindset, but the soldiers. But you know what it is? I always wanted a big family because I have a lot of love.
Yeah.
And I want to give to the world
Yeah.
the gift of all these, these different people who I know through my heart and love, and the love of my partner will make a difference. And that vision of a happy family together, laughing, and having good food with, surrounded, a cozy big family.
Yeah.
For me to go, I can just have a party with my family is such a big thing.
Did you have that growing up? Like with your, do you have siblings?
Yeah, I do have a younger sister, and she's really close to me. And then I extend it to my cousins, right? And I remember in my hardest times, just being in this little house, my estate back home, and just with all my family and cousins, I used to that would be the ultimate holiday for me. It didn't have to be Europe or any other place. Like a lot of the kids around me, I just love being home with them.
Yeah.
Because being around my cousins and all my family, it just felt right.
So when you have a woman in your life one day, she has to be the woman, right?
For me?
Yeah.
It's complex
because things unfortunately do happen.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's the right woman.
Yeah.
Who's going to stand up and build with me.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
But because of like, childhood trauma is very common these days. And like you said before, like when you're a kid, you pick up on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And you project.
Yeah.
You project things that have happened to you previously into your current relationships.
Yeah.
Talk, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, like, let's say one day you do have that happy family and you want to grow and build, but what happens if she doesn't? And then that's when it comes to an end.
You know what? At the end of the day, I know what I want.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lose.
Yeah.
I'm a man who speaks his truth, and I live by my will.
Yeah.
So if I want a happy family, just like you, man, if 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 men come against me,
none of those men can stop
they ain't gonna mess with me.
Right,
There's a reason why they call me the Dragon Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
If it's my family and it's me on the line, it's like right now, brother. Right now, I'm the head of my family.
Yeah.
I'm the protector, and
100%.
everybody knows they come against the Decker family, they face me. It's the same principle. If that's my family, my kids, that's the happiness means so much to me. She's gonna have to get on board, or she's gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
Because she's obviously not adding to the happy family, which means there's something internally wrong that she has to face.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily my job as a partner to be her therapist, and I can be a supporting figure and be her cheerleader and be like, hey, you got this.
I got you from the side.
I got you from the side, but you got to face this demon by yourself. Because if I do not let her face it by herself,
she's not gonna grow.
Yes, I'm only enabling the demon to persistently be there.
Yeah.
But if she faces it on her own, she triumphs. Yeah. She has the skills deal up in that process.
See, some people don't see it like that these days.
Because they're weak.
I feel like some people.
Not my problem.
Damn, that was a little cutthroat right there.
Studio audience reacted.
It's true though. Like unfortunately, in relationships these days, some people don't want to thrive and grow together. Some people just want to. It gets to a point where, in my last relationship with my child's mother, I wanted to start doing things mentally and physically and improve myself. And I think she was more, stuck in her way.
Yeah.
She, some people get too comfortable in life.
Yeah.
And when you get too comfortable, unfortunately, sometimes you have to, you have to let people go sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to, but you have to. But it
Mm.
does, priorities when having a family or being a single dad or whatever, it change drastically.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But it changes a lot. But I think you have a good mindset with it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good mindset to have.
Because I know that when people ask me what drives me to build a multi-million-dollar business, it was that dream of having a family.
Yeah.
And
that's what you want to do it for.
And that's the reason that I'm not available right now.
Right now, because you're trying to build for the future.
Correct.
But a lot of females don't see that.
I want my kids to be like, okay, you want to play sport? No worries, son. I'm going to be able to fund you to play sport. You want to go on a family trip together? Sure, I'm going to be able to do that for you.
Yeah.
Whatever my kids want, whatever they desire, I want to be able to provide.
I think having a family as well comes down to a lot of, I think people tend to forget to appreciate each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people these days forget to appreciate each other. Just the small things.
100%.
Like I said at the start of the first episode, it's you lose yourself as a male when you get out of a serious relationship.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard when you come out of it because you have to find yourself and then you have to figure out what type of person you want to be. And it's hard because you want to work for the future. Like once you start to find yourself, like a lot of males go through that first serious breakup where it just absolutely destroys you. And I feel like in a way through all that pain and stuff, I think it's where a man starts to prosper. I think that's the right word, prosper.
Do you know why? Because you invest in yourself. For the first time, you just kind of go, I got to do something. I got to step up.
Yeah, 100%.
You know
There's
what I mean?
just a lot of things that fall into line. Like I said, priorities when you're in a relationship change to once you then become single. And then once you find yourself, then change again. It's constantly changing.
Exactly.
But it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Like, unfortunately being single is not the best sometimes, but some lonely nights, man. But, it's definitely hard being alone, but knowing that I could easily just be like, hey, come over. But I don't want to. I think that's more powerful.
Power to you. Power to you, my brother. That's what it is.
Because I know my value.
That's right.
And I know, I know it's something that could easily be done, but do I want to do it? Not really.
No, man.
Like, why would I want to do that? Like, why would I want to enjoy myself for a minute and then
make
feel
memories
different
for
after.
a lifetime with someone special?
I think that's all we want at the end of the day.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do part 3, man, because we're going deeper and deeper and deeper. You
know
what
I'm
saying?
talking too much,
you know what I'm saying?
No, it's just once I start talking, I get
limitless dating coming soon.
We're gonna have a limitless seminar one day. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have to start talking. It's hard to
talk that talk, man. Talk that talk.
Just imagine when there's gonna be a group of people who are limitless in a room discussing these sort of stories.
But that's where it starts.
That's where it starts.
The podcast is small right now, but who's to say in a year's time it's not going to be 20,000 followers, 30,000,
exactly,
100,000. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, we could be sitting with Joe Rogan in a year from now. You never know.
We never know.
I'm sorry, Mr. Producer. I keep going on. Over to you, bro.
I was just gonna say it's very admirable that you're choosing the path of most resistance, because the path of least resistance is, like you said, you can easily, go out and date around
easily.
But we just want to say that's mad respect to you, and to all the listeners out there. I think we covered so many great topics. Definitely give this a like if you enjoy content like this. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to see Jake for part 3, let us know in the comments below.
3, 4, 5.
Stay limitless, guys.
Yes, sir.